Madison. Take us anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app. Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance, insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Now, here are your co-hosts of Talking Golf, Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown.
Welcome to Cherokee Country Club at Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown for another round of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. On tonight's show, Tim Rosefort, who is a senior writer for Golf World magazine, as well as a regular contributor on the Golf Channel, will be joining us in about 5 or 6 minutes. A number of subjects to discuss with Tim about the PGA Tour. Also on the show tonight is going to be Joe DuChateau. And Joe is the son of a former player of yours, right? Don DuChateau?
Right. He was the head pro up in Oshkosh, but Fond du Lac.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And we're going to chat with him. Joe is going to be going to Pebble Beach to play golf, and he's also trying to figure out if he's going to take a chance on the PGA Tour. And also, Dave Hill is going to be with us. He is the general manager of a golf course in the state of Wisconsin, and I'm going to hold back the name of it and kind of tease you a little bit and tell you, aesthetically, it may be one of the best-looking and fun places to play in the state of Wisconsin, and it's only about an hour and 15 minutes from Madison. And we'll chat with the general manager of that facility. I played it recently.
It is a nice place.
It's unbelievable.
We went over during the construction time.
Yeah.
And I got to see how they did their watering system and the completeness of that, and how they interjected, I forget what it's called, but it's not a deal that you normally would get to spurn the growth. And we changed our watering system here because of that. So it's pretty cool.
And also pretty cool, the Stricker family, they're starting to have success at all levels in the Stricker family, including today, as we understand it. You just got word that Bobby Stricker shot what?
Seven under. She made 9 birdies in that Badger Mutual Insurance outing in Milwaukee.
18 holes. She had 9 birdies.
Yeah, at Brown Deer, which, that's not that easy. I played so many opens there. And you really got to know what's going on, because the water that runs through in the hills and all that stuff. She made 9 birdies. 9 birdies, 2 bogeys. Shot 66. That's pretty cool.
Smoke. And then to top that off, younger Izzy.
Yeah.
I saw that on video on your phone. She had a pretty good...
A second hole. She made it from 141 yards, 5-wood, and it was really cool because she made it. She's cool, So Steve was giving the play-by-play of this and that and everything else. So he puts the mic right up to her and says, what do you have to say? And she says, I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I mean, really, she's never been speechless in her life.
Anybody that knows Izzy... But her first eagle at
first
her
eagle.
age.
Yeah, 12.
Think there's a little golfing talent in that family?
Well, I know what she's doing. She's competing because her sister's competing in a tournament. She has to, though they love each other dearly, but they compete pretty furiously.
But I'll tell you, 9 birdies.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's pretty cool and pretty impressive for anybody that plays golf.
Yeah, she putted good. She's about to hit it really close. Nick, when I talked to her mom, Nikki, I said, like watching Steve play. She said she hit it right in there on every hole and then made the putt. I said, all right. But now we'll see what happens today, because the warning, we chatted already, that normally after a real low round, normally the next round that a player plays is pretty average, So we'll see. She's onto it. So we'll see what she does.
And we'll check in with Tim Rosefort after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
With elevated tee shots featuring majestic 30-mile views into the surrounding bluffs and expansive greens that are fast and true, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells should be on your must-play list this season. 5 sets of tee boxes challenge all skill levels, from scratch golfers to resort guests. Numerous lodging options and amenities are also available. Wild Rock Golf Club at the Wilderness Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Call us today at 608-253-4653 or book online at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that. Time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
We're not your electric company, but we help move power to your community. We don't generate electricity, but our grid helps to energize your everyday life. We provide stable, reliable energy transmission from the energy sources to your home or business. We are American Transmission Company, the vital link between power production and the people who count on it. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
The critics are raving. It's the hottest reservation in the city, and people wait months for a table. And now, it's finally time to take your seat behind the wheel of the 2018 E-Class at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. This is performance at its most tasteful. Refined power and Mercedes-Benz luxury with enough turbocharged torque to get you back in time for dessert. Visit MBUSA.com/E-Class to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
30.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
W265 CV Madison.
Back at Cherokee Country Club at Madison on the Talking Golf Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is Tim Rosefort, who probably just got off the set at the Golf Channel. Tim is a regular contributor to the Golf Channel, also the senior writer for Golf World. And Tim had a couple of articles recently that we're going to discuss, and going to bring Dennis in on this one because he played with Bruce Litsky, who unfortunately passed away because of brain cancer. And Tim, first of all, welcome to the program. Let's start with Bruce and your thoughts on him as you knew him and did an article about his untimely death because of brain cancer.
Well, it's real sad. Obviously, you know, Bruce was one of the all-time great people out on tour of all time, really. And, you know, he was a guy that it wasn't always about competing and hitting balls. He was the opposite of that. He was more of a natural talent than he was a grinder. But, you know, he led a charmed life until about a year ago when he was diagnosed with this obviously the most severe form of cancer, one of those that you rarely beat. And I talked to him about a year ago, and he was still upbeat, and he was still Bruce Litsky. But Tiz, as you know, this was a great loss to the game, and the Nicholas tweet, and all the sympathies that poured in, and all the tears that were shed when it was official. Went from guys in their 60s right on through the lists of Hall of Famers that he played against and won 13 times on tour against back in the 80s and early 90s.
And you played against him, didn't you, Tiz?
I played there, yeah. His swing, took it inside, lifted it up, and hit it down steady. And then the all-time great, and you all have heard this before, where when he went home, he said he never practiced.
Is this about the banana?
Yeah, he never practiced. So his caddy put a banana in his travel bag. When he came back to the next tournament or whenever they played again, he opened up the travel bag and there was the rotten banana. I mean, it's true. He didn't practice when he went home. And it was hard to believe, because how could a guy play like that, continue to play? He won 13 times. That's pretty good. And he played in a time when there were a lot of good players, which there are now too. So it really is sad to see that type of thing, especially when you get a guy like that. Good family guy. Everything about it is the right thing,
Tim Rosafort is with us, and Tim,
tour players. Sorry, Paul.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim.
Tour players call clubs their wrenches. In his off season, he went and used real wrenches and had this collection of muscle cars that he kept inside the barn on the 365 acres he owned in North Texas. And I asked him if he ever wanted to design golf holes on that property. He said, not a blade of grass is dedicated to a golf course. This is about fishing out here. And of course, remember, the other great story about him was he didn't put down fishing in his PGA Tour bio, the favorite things to do. He put down serious fishing.
There you go.
There you go. That's him, though. Right?
You also wrote an article about Bryson DeChambeau, who really had a meltdown yesterday. It happens on the tour, and it happens to a lot of different players. Unfortunately, he didn't show the greatest sportsmanship, barely shaking hands with the winner of the tournament. You wrote about that, Tim. Just kind of give us a quick summary of your thoughts on that situation.
Well, I'd like to think it was a rookie mistake. Butch Harmon would too, and he kind of said, "Hey, he's a young kid; he'll learn." I talked to both Bryson's manager and also his father today, and Bryson knows he messed up, and it wasn't the best apology either. It was the way it was structured. The apology was at the end of a thank you note, basically to the people that that hosted him at that tournament in Germany, and it didn't get run through the right people, and so that dug him a little bit deeper. But I think you'll hear him step up this week and say, "Look, my bad. It was poor form," and hopefully everybody can move on. The big story within this, guys, is whether it's going to hurt him or affect him as it relates to whether he needs a Ryder Cup captain's pick or not. And he's eighth, he's ninth in the standings right now. Top 8 make it on points through next week's PGA Championship. Tiger Woods is one of his closest allies. Tiger has a lot to say, of course, in this process. And I talked to Jim Furyk, the captain, and while he wouldn't say, I wasn't pushing him to say whether this affected his spot, he did reply when I asked the question, how long before you reach out and sort of try and get this guy, take this guy's temperature, get the enthusiasm going again, and try and make the team. And he said, "Look, I've been hot. I'm guilty of the same thing. Maybe not took it to the level that Bryson did in that handshake, but as he said in quote, this is from Furyk this morning, I think it depends on the person and how well you know them. I've been in his shoes. I know how raw that feeling can be. I think it's best to let things simmer and then send a text of encouragement in the future." So
that's the right
sort
thing.
of leaving the door open for, the way to handle it. And let's see how DeChambeau handles it going forward.
Because right now, DeChambeau is 9 in the term of the picks, and Phil Mickelson is 10th. Want to talk a little bit about a couple of other things in golf. With swing is totally ideal, where it's going to stand up for a long period of time.
It's different. Totally different. I mean, I look at it from a teacher's perspective. Would you teach that? I don't know. How would you correct that? I don't know. So the nice part about it is that he is obviously his own best teacher. It's got to be. and it's just not clicking for him right now. But if I were giving him advice, I say, attitude is the big deal, and to sit back a little bit, and maybe what happens is he needs a little bit of a rest to do it. But in this game, when you're that analytical, difficult, my opinion. And a lot of the stuff he's doing is I looked at, he's not swinging today like he did 2 months ago. I can show you that, how the club and where position is. Who does he work with? Do you know?
Homer Kelly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's good enough. I mean,
Coffee
somewhere
machine.
along. Yeah. They'll work it out.
People who don't know the swing, some people who don't know the swing, don't they compare it to what your son-in-law's with it kind of just taking it back and no wrist cock and then coming through it. It's a lot more complicated than that.
Well, but in his case, my comment always him, because they say, so with Steve, his putter, the heel of his putter is off the ground. Well, because the putter doesn't fit. I mean, that's why it's off the ground. But in Steve's case, when you go ahead and you do it slow motion, it's impossible to hit the ball without a wrist cock. So Steve downloads. It's going to be difficult for this guy to download because of the length of every club. It's going to be difficult to download and then to react, because there's a lot of weight, and even though he's a big boy and a strong boy, but in Steve's case, he downloads a lot. So there's a lot of rotation that's put in, and we believe that radial torque is distance. So if he puts his radial torque, which a number of areas, from his ankle to his hips, lower back, shoulders, mostly in his left arm, and in the radial torque, you twist your left arm, and that's where he gets it from. But he does download, so the club does hinge on a circle. I worried about this guy that it is stiff-wristed. It's crossed the line. So, he's going to hit some of the shots he's hitting. Some of those that he hit to the left, I mean, the club is so close on the right side of the ball and so far behind him, but I'm sure they'll work it out. I mean, that's some guy who looks at golf swings all the time, and, bottom line is his previous work that he's done deserves to play on the Ryder Cup. Okay, that's my opinion. And when Jim said, let's wait a minute here, let's let things calm down, let's let
good thing to do, huh?
Absolutely. And he needs encouragement. How old is he? 20 what? 5, 6?
He's very
less than that.
Yeah,
less
he's
than
24,
that.
I think.
So
I'm not
really,
sure.
think about it. What is it? We've got somewhere spoiled with Jordan Spieth and few people like that. But this guy will rally, and he deserves to play.
Our guest is Tim Rosefort, and Tim, Tiz and I were talking earlier today, and he wanted to mention it to you to see what your thoughts were in terms of the perspective of the players that you get, talking about equipment and the ball on the tour. Do the players talk about that? What's your reaction to it, and what would you think about changes?
It's not really my subject. I will say, players talk about it usually when somebody tears up a golf course like Dustin Johnson,
right? A
new kid that comes along like Dustin Johnson and hits a 370 down the middle. Everybody's used to Dustin Johnson now. It's just basically that's an acceptable way with him. But with the numbers and the masses and the different size people being able to hit a ball as far as they are nowadays, then you hear some blowback. Certainly not like you do from the USGA or the R&A, but it's a topic of conversation. And I think where this is all going, or should it go in that direction, is what are we going to do to get back to take Gutta Perch out too, Tiz, and start making long par fours 400 yards instead of 500 yards. I mean, I don't know. Really, I have no problem with him hitting it this far. I think people like to see the home run, as Hank Haney would say, not the single. And I see guys choke with wedges in their hands and putters and 7-irons, just like Woods did, on that 11th hole at Carnoustie last week or 2 weeks ago. It potentially cost him a shot, at least, of putting some serious heat on Molinari down the stretch. So people get upset and all worked up when they see Sergio hitting 8-iron into the 13th at Augusta, and so call it sacrilegious. But at the same time, like I said, there's something to be said about hitting a 5-iron into a par four, but there's also just as much mishitting of shots with shorter irons in players' hands, especially when it comes down time to win a golf tournament.
Right, but I really do. This is me again, that the ball has to be, something has to be done there. Why can't there be two rules, one for the pros and one for amateurs? We have that in baseball. You can't hit a metal bat in pro, but you can hit it in the amateur rank. So it's not that it's new.
Well, selling aluminum bats isn't that big a deal. I mean, versus how much billions or millions are made in selling golf balls. And it's bifurcation might as well be a 4-letter word.
Yeah, but
Titleist and TaylorMade.
But if you got a ball, point is that which I'm making is that if you had a ball that was a tour ball that had the specific, back a little bit what it was, and I granted the kids are bigger, the faces expansion and all this sort of stuff, but I'll bet you that within 6 months after you have a tour ball, that the average player would play that ball, not play the ball that goes 5 million miles, because people are still comparing themselves to tour golf. So the lead has to come from the tour in order for this thing to change, my opinion. It's not coming from the USGA, WSGA. They got a hard time keeping up with what they have.
Well, I tell you what, we could keep going, but as always, when we get Tim on, we run out of time. Tim,
but then I can get them back again. So
yeah. Tim, thanks for your time.
There's any time you want.
I know it. I know it.
I guess I shouldn't talk so long.
No. That's why we like you, man.
We appreciate it. Anytime, man. We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for more details.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. Welcome back to Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and Joe DuChateau is with us. And Joe is a young man from the Fond du Lac area, and he's punched his ticket to the U.S. Amateur Championship at Pebble Beach. Joe, welcome to the show. Dennis Tiziani is here, and your dad, Don, played for Tiz back in the days when he was coach of the Badger men's and women's golf team. What do you remember about Don, first of all?
Well, he could never make the team. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you. I remember him as a real stand-up guy. I remember him as a leader on this team, a contributor, and probably I wish we could have worked with him a little bit more as he went on. But he took golf very serious and became a real good golf professional at up in Fond du Lac. And of course, he has a son now that's I don't know.
He's pretty good
halfway,
player,
he's
huh?
halfway decent. But you know, the same old
halfway decent.
The same old deal, you know, the athletic chromosome is an X. So Don had nothing to do with this. It's all his mother, right?
Hey, how neat is it to think about going to Pebble Beach? Your dad has Donnie Doos up in Fond du Lac, where they have a simulator, and you can play Pebble Beach anytime you want to. But what's your thoughts on going to play the real course?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be it'll be a really fun experience. And first of all, thank you for having me on. It's great talking to both of you. But yeah, it's been fun. I mean, I've actually kind of been practicing on the simulators a little bit, playing Pebble and Spyglass because both of them are on there, and trying to get some lines figured out maybe off the tee, since I've never been out there before. So, but I'm just going to, go out there and just try to take it all in and have fun while I'm out there. So
in the simulator, what's your low round at Pebble Beach?
Like even par or 2 over. I don't know. I have it set up that it just putts for me once I get on the green because it's so hard to putt on those things half the time. So
yeah. And Joe, you have some thoughts about you finished up at UW Green Bay about a year ago, and you're using the summer to think about what it would do if you should try the professional life in terms of playing golf. How are you making that evaluation process in terms of deciding if your game is good enough and all of the other things that go with being on tour as a pro player?
I'm going out to events and just trying to play, as well as I can and shoot good scores. Obviously qualifying for the AM is kind of a big step. I've never qualified for it before. So it's kind of a step that shows me, I can play well when I maybe need to or am trying to, without putting, too much pressure on myself to really shoot a good score. But at the same point, as much as I am using this summer to kind of evaluate it, I'm not rushing to turn pro. I'm going to take this summer, obviously, and see where I'm at. But there's no rush to just get into it and start going. I mean, I can obviously build up a resume for a little bit of time and then hopefully give it a go and to have something else to show for it than just like, I played well in 2 tournaments and, that kind of thing.
What do you think the strengths of your game is?
Usually, I would say my strength is probably off the tee. I usually hit it pretty straight and keep it in play. And then if I can get my putter going, that's my other strength. But everything else, I mean, not that my ball striking or short game is bad, but those would be the top 2 things I would say for me.
Tiz, what advice would you give Joe about that approach, and what could he do from your not having seen him obviously play, but that much? But
he didn't want to come down here no more.
He doesn't want to.
Watch him now.
I mean,
I give the door open.
I try reaching out, and I don't always hear from you. So
I teed him up a little bit there. But he should. Anybody who has an inkling should try. We have a number of people like Joe, men and women. And if you've got the inkling to do it, you have to do it. Because I'm going to tell you, when he's 35 and he looks back and he didn't do it, that's where it's going to hit him and say, I should have done that. So going on the path that he's going is good. There is no way of telling who can make it. really. I mean,
The
I
odds are very long.
But the other side of the coin is I've had some players that, I mean, hit the ball tremendous and they can't get her going. Yet I've had some who have giant success only because, and this Joe has a little bit of that. He's got a good head on his shoulders, it's so he, when he hits, I can tell, it's not discouraged in many cases. He's a process type person, on and on and on. And he's got one level done. He finished school and he's on his way. So how about if we do this now? How old are you now? 5?
24.
24. He's 24. I mean, look at that. I mean, he's got a good 6 years to go before he has to make a decision. We've had a number of people like that, around 30 or so. Then they're going to start going ahead and putting their education in play. But in his particular case, he's going to have an extensive golf background to enhance whatever he does in and kids and on it goes. So my advice is you got to give it a rip. You got to keep on going to a place where you have a chance to fail. Keep on playing in the highest possible place so you know how much you have to go ahead and excel. Get right out there, and then you learn how to handle rejection, which is golf,
Joe, you got anything else you want to ask Tiz now that you got an opportunity to chat with him here? Like you said, he teed you up for it.
No, I mean, I guess I'm like I said, I'm just kind of looking forward to getting out to the AM, and I've got, some goals set for that, and hopefully we can reach them, but hopefully I can get down and maybe see it once before I get out there in a few weeks so that we can maybe talk about some stuff.
Yeah, we can talk about it, putt a little bit. That's the deal. I've got some good advice here for those courses. They've eaten me up pretty regular out there. So
very quickly, just generally, you guys would talk about it, but just a few highlights of what you would tell them.
Well, he has to be very conscious. Wind is going to be a factor. It's going to happen there. Elevations are a tremendous factor, and you got to look around and you'll see the hills all around you. And the greens are a lot smaller than you'll ever imagine they'll be. They're as big as your living room, So there's some things, and position is to be the deal. But patience is going to be the key there, not necessarily long off the fairway, but long into the green. That type of stuff, where, I mean, you get that Emory, you play out there, you shoot somewhere around 288, you shoot right around par. Be well in the thing. It'll be a good stepping stone for him to do.
All right, Joe, we wish you the best of luck, and thanks for joining us on the show, and say hello to your dad. We appreciate the time.
Will do. Thank you again very much for having me.
See you soon, Joe.
And that is Joe Duchateau from the Fond du Lac area, and we'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
What can you count on? There's that friend who always calls at the right time.
Hey, John.
A loyal companion, always ready to go. Here's something else you can count on: electricity. Just flip a switch and your life powers up. At American Transmission Company, we help make sure electricity is there when you need it. That's what we do. Deliver economical, reliable power for your everyday life. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent.
Sounds good.
Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin 53783.
The mighty Blue Marlin. You've battled for 2 solid hours. He jumps again. He's almost at the side of the boat. It's the moment of truth. Because there's never been a better time to test drive the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLC. With a smooth 9-speed transmission, it loves to run. Set course for your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Visit mbusa.com/GLC to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Wisconsin. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
It's the kid in
30
grade school
seconds,
who
and
paints
then
her
I
face
will
blue and white
call 'em once
before
you guys get
every
started.
home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee and Madison, along with Dennis Tiziati. I'm Paul Brown. A couple of reminders before we go to our next guest. If you love to play golf, we're talking about courses in Wisconsin. You've got an opportunity to support the Golf Effect charity and play at 2 outstanding courses for $50, including the golf car. That's $50 per round. You could get a foursome together, put 8 guys together or 8 gals and go play Wild Rock in Wisconsin Dells or UW Ridge here in Madison. We have a limited number of passes to sell, a total at the beginning of the season of 50 per course. And you could put that foursome together, $200. The money comes to the Golf Effect. You get to play the course 18 holes, including golf car. All you have to do to get those passes is go to thegolfeffect.org. There's a website there. Go to passes, and they'll ask you to PayPal to give them a credit card.
Got 'em.
The number of courses that we have, you give them your number on the PayPal, and then the passes will be sent to you through Cherokee Country Club here in Madison. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier on the show, there is a hidden gem, as I would like to call it, in the state of Wisconsin, and the general manager of that facility is on right now. And Tiz, I find out he knows you. Of course, I think everybody in golf knows you. Going to give you a little quiz here and a chance to figure this out. In the 20s and the 30s, it was farmland. 1960, it turned into one of the biggest ski hills with about 10 runs here in the state of Wisconsin. Stayed that way until the late 90s when a family bought it, and they bought some adjacent land. Now they have 314 acres and aesthetically one of the most beautiful golf courses in the state of Wisconsin. And it's probably about an hour and 20 minutes from Madison. It's open to the public to play. In fact, they have 36 holes there, and a very unique situation. They have 18 holes of a par 3, which is unique, and it's fun to play. Tiz, you want to talk about...
You must have played really good because you've been touting this thing for
It is. This place is outstanding.
Yeah,
but
I've been there. It is very good.
What are you talking about? You can reveal it.
Where are we talking about?
Yeah, Hawksview in Lake Geneva.
Lake Geneva. That's right. I was there when they were building it, and of course doing I got some good advice and some good ideas for watering system that we employed here. But it's a top shelf place, and like you say, it's one of the most beautiful places and views that you'll play at.
And Dave Hill is the general manager of Hawksview. Welcome to the show, Dave. I guess you go back with Tiz a little bit. I think everybody in golf in Wisconsin at one point has dealt with Tiz one way or another. Where was your connection?
Through the golf cart business, and he was, like he said, Tiz was there when we were in construction, and we talked about irrigation systems and had some conversations, obviously about golf carts too. So yeah, it goes back a few years. 18 years ago that was already.
And you guys are gas golf cars down there. Dennis is golf cars and gas up here. What's going on with carts?
Well, I don't know what kind of cars you have now.
We got Yamahas right now, Tiz.
Right. So we got did you buy that EFI? Is that what you bought?
Yes.
Yeah. It's 1.8 decibels louder than electric. And it's far superior than my feeling anyway, gas car. Not that I'm talking against Club Car, because that's what I used to sell to, and they do make a good product. But this one here was really, really, really superior, both for mileage and the like. And we discarded the electric portion that we were doing and went totally with gas. So, it was a good thing. Plus the sales guy, I'm Jim Goggart. You know Jim?
Oh, yeah, you bet. I just talked to him today, as a matter of fact.
He's one of the best there is. Jim used to play here for us at Wisconsin, and
You're right.
a close friend. And, we hit balls together. He still plays very good. His kids are really good, but he still plays pretty good, too.
Dave, let's talk a little bit
golfing
about
family.
Oh, yeah.
Hawksview Golf Course. I can talk about it, and I really did, honestly, thoroughly enjoy it. The views are absolutely incredible, and I would think in the fall it would be an absolutely gorgeous place to play. But from your perspective, for the people maybe that have never been down to Hawksview, just describe your thinking about the golf course and aesthetically, and just a general observation for people on your facility down there.
Sure. Well, the glaciers were very good to us. It's a lot of elevation changes and some pretty severe terrain, which make for beautiful golf holes. And so we started out with 315 acres of a great natural site, which lends itself to, making a couple good golf courses. And like you said, it was originally a ski hill back in the 70s and 60s. So we had a lot to work with, and we hired good people, hired a good contractor, a good architect, and that was 18 years ago already. And it's been a huge success, so we're very pleased.
There's one par 3 that has about 4 different levels to it, and if you go to the top level, I don't know how far down the green would be. It's got to be over 50 feet down or something.
It's 105 feet a drop elevation change.
Right? And the view from up there, aesthetically, how far can you see? And describe what you'd see from up there.
Well, if you face the west, you see Lake Como. You can see Geneva National from on top of the old Mount Fuji ski hill, and in the other direction to the west is Burlington, and you can see all the way there. And so yeah, it's pretty much as far as the eye can see. And we're in a big valley, so you can see for quite a ways.
But yet the golf course itself, describe the holes and that kind of thing, because quite frankly, there's some room out there in terms of when you look at it standing on the tee. Yes, there's a variety of different shots, but there's fairness there too in terms of width and that type of thing.
There is, and especially if you get on the right tee, it's very playable, and we hear that a lot. People, there's room to hit the ball. There's a couple holes that have double fairways, so there's a lot of risk and reward. And the thing that's consistent with both courses is as you get further into the black tees and the blue tees, it brings the hazard in. There's a lot of forced carry. So it brings the hazard into play the further you get back. And then by the time you get to the forward tee, there is no forced carry at all. So that's consistent within both golf courses.
Tell us about the par 3 course and that concept and how that's gone.
Well, when we built the golf courses, we originally were going to build 36 regulation, and with wetlands and all the limitations we had, we were going to build another 9, and we decided we didn't want to do a 27-holer. So we built an 18-hole par 3 that sits on about 45 acres. And I'm so glad we did it. It's taken a while to get it marketed because of the stigma of the old par 3s, but this one's got bent fairways. It was voted by Golf Advisor number 2 short course in the country last year. And, it's got holes that are 225 yards, 195, 186. It's a great place for families. It's that less time, less money thing. And, it's nice to see, you're not going to go out and pay $85 to get beat up on a regulation golf course. This is a great golf course to learn, for whether you be a young adult or, a good player like Tiz can work on a short game. So we did, over the weekend, we did over 400 rounds on that golf course.
Wow.
So, people are, with the Sand Valleys building par threes, and that par three stigma is kind of going away a little bit.
Dave, you and I were chatting a little bit earlier today when we set up the interview, and in terms of Lake Geneva, it's kind of an area where you mentioned that maybe the Madison people in particular don't think as much about. They think about the Dells and going a little further north and that kind of thing. So a lot of your traffic comes from where? Milwaukee and Chicago and that kind of thing. It seems like that area has a tremendous amount of quality golf courses down there in the Lake Geneva area.
There really is. And, it's become somewhat of a destination. We get a lot of people that'll play, Hawksview and then Grand Geneva and Geneva National and Abbey Springs. And, there's 15 golf courses within a 10-mile radius and, a lot of high quality courses. So, the other thing after we talked today, I thought about too, from a consumer standpoint, it's gotten much more affordable. As ownership, you don't like to hear that, but, what used to be, $150 golf courses are now 80 and 90. So from a consumer standpoint, Lake Geneva, I think, had a little bit of a reputation of being high end and Chicago pricing, and that just isn't the case anymore.
What do you see as you look ahead in your crystal ball, Dave, as a general manager of a facility? Where's golf going in the next 5 to 10 years in your mind? And what do you have to do as a GM to make the facility successful?
Well, it's no secret that, the average price per round has gone down. So, you diversify, which we have done. We've got a barn on site, and we're trying to renovate that to do barn weddings, and we do about 60 weddings a year. So we've got a large facility, and we try to sell that to for whatever we can, and as far as social events and obviously weddings, and you look for revenue in other places, and try to you got to keep the quality up. So the money has to come from somewhere.
Dave, thank you very much for your time, and good luck down at Hawksview. We appreciate your being on the show.
Good to have him here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
See you, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. That's Dave Hill, the general manager of Hawksview Golf Club. And we'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for more details.
In today's world, we're more plugged in than ever, and we don't think twice when we flip the switch to turn on the lights or boot up our computers. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity, and that's what American Transmission Company is all about. We don't generate electricity, but our grid helps energize your everyday life. We're the vital link between power production and the people who count on it. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and community strong.
He dreams of playing in the big leagues, which is taking a toll on your dreams. Most people don't think about their home insurance until something happens. But talking to an American Family Insurance agent today can mean your dreams have better protection tomorrow. Visit amfam.com/home for a quote and see if your insurance measures up. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin 53783.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net.
With elevated tee shots featuring majestic 30-mile views into the surrounding bluffs and expansive greens that are fast and true, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells should be on your must-play list this season. 5 sets of tee boxes challenge all skill levels, from scratch golfers to resort guests. Numerous lodging options and amenities are also available. Wild Rock Golf Club at the Wilderness Resort in Wisconsin Dells. Call us today at 608-253-4653 or book online at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
And we're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tizziotti. I'm Paul Brown. We also have a couple of golf outings coming up that you may be interested in. Both of them are here in the Madison area, and they are both very worthy causes. First of all, the $1 Million Shootout. This is the Alzheimer's and Dementia Alliance of southwestern Wisconsin, including in the Madison area. They're going to have an outing on Monday, August 13th at Maple Bluff Country Club. All of the proceeds of that event go to helping people that need the help here in the Madison area. They also have some sponsorships available in terms of, buying the dinner or hold sponsorships and those kind of things. That's August 13th. And also, want to mention the First Tee is having their golf outing. They have that every year. This year, it's here at Cherokee Country Club on August 20th, and they still have some openings. If you'd like to participate and help out the First Tee, they've got some title sponsorship and other entry sponsorships. So if you want to put a foursome together, you could check out the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin and both of those outings. Dennis, that's one thing. Golf outings over the years have been a good revenue source for people, but it seems like there is a lot of them, isn't there? I mean,
those two that you just mentioned, are awesome. First Tee does an exceptional job, and they continue to do along two paths. The education path clearly is superior, and golf is getting better and better. It won't be a little bit more longer. You're going to be hearing about some of the young players that the First Tee has started out, and they'll be showing up here very shortly and going forward. The business about Alzheimer's, that one there really excites me, and I can't wait till we get Sanjay back to let me know, because the last time he was here, I can tell you that was probably the biggest thing that spurred me on in order to continue us to do that, when he's telling us how close they are to getting a thing. And then recently I just heard on television somewhere there was a breakthrough someplace with Alzheimer's. So, I'd like to hear what's going on. And of course, that's going to spur more people. But the business of golf outings is a way today, those rounds of golf. And so, but it's a negative deal as it relates to someone to join a facility when you can play in all these events. I look at senior events. You get guys that can play for $100. That can play
some of the best courses in the
20
state.
times. You can play 20 rounds for $100 at courses all over the thing for $2,000. Why wouldn't you do that? So from a private standpoint, more things have to more. And he mentioned it, the guy over here that we just talked to, about all the other things that you do. Well, look what we do. I mean, from a pool to fitness to racquetball to indoor tennis, outdoor tennis, pickleball. I mean, those are all things that we're going to have to go ahead and get on as we go forward.
I was going to ask you about what we were talking to Joe. Do you think you can learn golf playing in a simulator? How do you feel about simulators?
Well, I think that they're people are doing it's a revenue source. That's what it is. But really, I mean, there's a lot of people who play golf not for the score, to go out, walk around,
and,
with family.
Pops
Look at how many people we have here now that I see that are the husband and wife teams that are out there doing it. It seems to be more of that rather than guys going their separate way, women going. They're here playing golf, and they play, and there's a lot of them who walk the 18 holes, and sometimes just 9. They have an opportunity to, little wine, little beer too. So that works out. So, I think that I don't think golf is in such a bad position. I think there's an overabundance of places, but those that are up for the challenge and up for doing the diversity that you need to have for it, they're doing just fine.
Joe mentioned that he'd attempted to reach you a couple of times to maybe get some thoughts on looking at his game and that kind of thing. And I can just say, being around Dennis, and I'm not saying that you did anything wrong with Joe. If you did or didn't respond, I don't even know for sure. But what I can say is it's unbelievable the amount of people via the phone or in person that want a part of your time in terms of helping with their game. But you talk about that all the time. It's like finding your passion and giving it away. You got your phone on.
There's 4 of them right there. Do you have time tomorrow? Do you have time Sunday? Do you have this?
Why do you have time for most of the people?
Well, I learned a long time ago that you find your, you find your gift and you give it away. And I'm just telling you that
but you could sell it and make a lot of money.
I know it, but I think there's a name for people who charge $100 for an hour, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to go and do that. So, but the other side is I have an opportunity to pick them. I mean, you're just not going to call me up and I'm going to drop everything. There has to be some sort of a story there. And I don't mean a story as in story. I mean, there has to be something behind. Joe's going to do fine. He's got to find his way. He's got a dad who's a golf professional and on and on and on. And, at some point in time, a good teacher teaches the player to be their own best teacher. And that's what we did with him. But he'll come down. But you hear what he said. We'll just sit and talk about some things. Now we're getting somewhere when we can get into his head and talk about some things. But, it goes on and on and on. I mean, there's a reputable senior tour player that's calling. And I said, I'm going to be busy till 7. You can call me after that. Okay, I'll call you after 7. So obviously the word, is out there. The people are looking. But, when you're 75 years old, you can get away with a lot of things, and one of the things that we do is spend the time with those people who want a little bit of I say it's non-competitive, but what are you doing to make some of these players so successful? It's not all teaching golf.
And there is a uniqueness in Mr. Tiziani and the way he teaches and handles situations. I can tell you that. We're out of time. For Kevin Ryan and Dave McCann, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown.
How about Wilco?
Oh, well, yeah.
Wilco's
He's got the Euchre trophy too.
That's right. That's right. He's got
the Euchre trophy.
He's got an empty glass. You know that we're really good because he couldn't get it. He won't leave even to fill up his glass.
And we'll be back same time next week to do it all over again. And Madison, that's Talking Golf for now on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network. Talking Golf has been brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American